Hello students, welcome to EasyElimu, Learning Simplified. I am your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. So dear students, remember we have been looking at some of the thematic concerns that we have in An Artist of the Floating World by Kazuo Ishiguro. So far we've we've had the opportunity to look at quite a good number of some of these issues that are raised or rather brought up in the novel. So in this session, allow me talk about this issue, that is relevance of the artist, the relevance of the artist as it is in the novel. So talking about this issue, dear students, we learn that the deepest desire of Masuji Ono, that is the protagonist of An Artist of the Floating World, is to be an acclaimed, significant artist. But while Ono is technically adept as a painter, his understanding of the world and art's role in it is unsophisticated. So, lacking a strong personal vision for his art and its message, Ono switches from one artistic movement to the next, that is in pursuit of a style that will earn him acknowledgement as a great artist. So in tracing Ono's trajectory, that is from commercial artist to hybrid yoga artist to nationalist artist and finally propagandist, the novel shows a man who spends his life uh, congratulating himself for his bold breaks from his teachers and for his much needed artistic contributions. So, at his life's end, however, it is clear that Ono has only followed in others' footsteps, that is, making an inspired and an important art, or art which reflects and amplifies his society's worst impulses. So, in his quest, that is for relevance and significance, Ono produced work that could not stand the test of time, but became irrelevant along with each passing fad. This is after world which he painted had floated. So remember, this is now after the war, and the war has brought destruction and a lot of effects, that is negative effects, because it's obvious war cannot have some positive effects. So after this, Ono is one of the artists whose art is now regarded as an important art by now the young generation. So another thing, dear students, is that the novel suggests that the relevant artist who reacts to the commercial and political currents of time may be acclaimed for a moment, but ultimately prove insignificant outside of the time in which he or she works. So while Ono describes himself as someone who bravely follows in his convictions and talent, his actual life events point to a man who follows others opportunistically instead of thinking for himself. So Ono's early works as an adolescent are paintings of landscapes, and he has an incredible facility for capturing the way a specific place looks. But throughout his later career, however, Ono's work focuses on other subjects, suggesting that he may have abandoned his true talent, simple and familiar as it may have been in the eyes of others. So Ono's first paid work as an artist is producing stereotypical Japanese paintings that are exported to the foreigners who that is exoticize Japanese tradition. So at first, dear students, at first Ono is happy that he is making a living as an artist, despite his father's predictions that if he had become an artist, he would have, to live in poverty. That is, he was going to be impoverished. So he is also happy to be a top artist in his company. But over that is over time, he starts to feel that the commercial job at Master Takida's company is beneath him. And what follows is that he quits. He calls it a quit. So for the next 6 years, Ono stays at Seiji Moriyama's, who's also known as Morisan Villa. So he stays in Morisan's villa, that is. So there, we are told that Ono paints in the more Western-inspired manner that Morisan promotes, that is, pictures of geishas from the floating world, or that is the pleasure districts rendered in yoga. So we are also told that while Morisan encourages his students to live among geishas, partying till the wee hours of the morning and painting scenes from nightlife, Ono questions if this is indeed the road to greatness. So after all, his father told him that if he had become an artist, he would live in poverty all his life. So Ono, however, receives praise once more, and he ends up being Morisan's favorite pupil and is permitted to display his paintings next to those of his instructor, meaning that even after leaving Master Takeda's, he again is identified as another good or best artist at Morisan's villa. So following discussions with the nationalist art enthusiasts, remember we have Matsuda, who is a nationalist art enthusiast. So Matsuda ridicules Ono for his naivete and limited viewpoint as an artist. So Ono departs from Morisan's villa and starts to produce politically charged paintings, that is, paintings that were aimed to, that were aimed to pass certain political agendas. So Ono eventually rises to prominence as a nationalist painter in his city. So a cohort of younger artists also consider him their teacher, and he wins prestigious awards. That is, as we also learn from the novel. So, however, after the Japan's defeat in the war, the culture of militant nationalism is revived. So, and what happens is that prominent nationalist artists now become, very worried and scared. Some of them even commit suicide. So Ono is forced into retirement, which he takes as a sign that his work had an important, albeit now discredited, impact on the society. So, in a nutshell, the title refers to the novel's portrayal of, a conceited, self-deluded artist whose contributions become less significant over time. So a lifetime of praise for his work gives Ono the confidence that his efforts were significant and would live on. So he was, however, but one of the several artists of his era who created ripple paintings in other people's, devised styles. So even though Ono moves out of Morisan's mansion and stops painting the geishas of the pleasure districts, that is the floating world, his career his career's eventual insignificance gives him a distinct distinction as an artist of the floating world. So Ono achieves a fleeting popularity by adapting his creations to the needs of particular locations and periods, and by copying others who have gained acclaim. But this world is neither timeless nor permanent. Remember, dear students, it is transitory, that is floating, hence the title, An Artist of the Floating World. So the novel shows how the world in which Ono was an important artist is already floating away, superseded by the new currents, ideas, and artists who are now having, different perspectives and ideology that is different from the likes of Ono. So, dear students, that marks the end of this session. Thank you for keeping it easy, Elimu. And once again, remember, I am your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. Until next time, bye.